Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be talking about the post 9/11 GI Bill. The eligibility is pretty simple. It's about 36 months or 3 years in the military. There's no delimitation date. If you're getting out after 2013 or you have gotten out of 2013, then there's no delimitation date. It's called the Forever GI Bill. So today I'll be talking about the benefits, state school versus private school, BAH or MHA as they call it. So first of all, there's a law stating that all tuition for public state-funded schools will be treated as in-state tuition. So you're not going to have to worry about paying out-of-state tuition. Asking if you have to pay out-of-state tuition, all 50 states are going to be treated as in-state tuition if you're a veteran. But you have to be signing up within 3 years of separating from the military. You can't go 5 years down the line. They won't count that as in-state tuition. For private schools, they have the opportunity to use a yellow ribbon, which I'll cover a little bit later in the video. Right now, I'm going to talk about BAH and MHA because that's what a lot of people are concerned with. So your BAH or MHA military housing allowance, it is going to be paid from the E5 BAH calculator with dependents. So depending where your school is located is where you're going to get your housing allowance. You can't live in a place that's super expensive but go to school in like a cheaper area. They're going to give you the housing for the cheaper area. So that's how that's going to work. Online school, a lot of people are concerned about online school because you work or you don't really want to go to a brick and mortar school, which is $894, and that's if you're full time. So look at your school and see what counts as full time for credits. Usually it's 12 credits for full time. So they also pay a $500 relocation fee if you come from a county that only has 6 people per square mile. So if you're from what I have here, if you are from Clark County, Idaho, you have a half a person per square mile. So all those torsos and legs running around. They also give you the $1,000 book stipend yearly, but they charge that at $41 per credit. So if you only taken 6 credits, you're only going to get 41 times 6. I'm not doing quick math for you. They also do a $2,000 per certification test. They would pay that, but it's a reimbursement. So you have to pay it first, show that you paid, and they'll reimburse you. Don't count on that money coming quick because you know how this works. It may take a little bit for the money to get to you, but it will get to you. But call first and verify that certification is going to be covered. They do not pay under this. They do not pay for training under this portion. They'll only pay for the certification. So the training portion is different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being reimbursed for a certification exam. Like if you're in IT, there's like Net Plus and Sec Plus, stuff like that. You call and see how much they're going to charge for the test for your monthly benefits, because if your test is worth X amount of dollars, they'll charge you X amount of months or days within a month for your GI Bill. So you had 36 months, you took an exam, they calculated out that exam was worth a month. Now you have 35 months in your GI Bill, but you have that certification. So, you give it a little, you get a little. So one thing that a lot of people don't take into account when they talk about the GI Bill is you don't get paid during the summer unless you take summer courses. So a lot of people don't understand that they're not going to get paid that MHA throughout the summer if you're not taking any courses. So you're going to have to find a job or move back home or something during that time because you're not going to get any funding from that. You can take summer courses. So the benefit to that is you'll get, you will get unbroken pay when it comes to MHA, and you'll be finishing your school faster. So it's a win-win situation. It's a yellow ribbon program. I have a chart to describe the yellow ribbon program. I think it's going to be right here. So how the yellow ribbon program works is if you're in a private school that their tuition is above the $24,467.79 of yearly tuition fees that are covered by the GI Bill, then if they are part of the yellow ribbon program, you can go to va.gov, and just like you'll see a chart on here. You'll select your state, and it'll show you all the schools in that state that is participating in the Yellow Ribbon program. I have North Carolina pulled up. So as you can see, and how this works, there's the name of the college in the first row, the location, which is the city, degree level. So pay attention to this one, degree level. So let's look at Barton College. Their first thing, they have an undergrad and a graduate level, right? And the division of schools, so it's all their schools, no matter if it's engineering, medical, education school, all their schools are covered. And number of students, also important, unlimited. So they will give an unlimited number of students the Yellow Ribbon program funds. And then the final one is the amount of money that they're going to give each one of those students. Yet again, Barton College, unlimited. Now let's go down to Campbell University. Let's go down to their undergraduate program. So they're in Blues Creek. They have an undergraduate program, all their undergraduate programs, all their schools, but they only have 100 students that they'll give the Yellow Ribbon to. And as you see that, they only have $4,700 they'll give. So how that $4,700 works is you have that $24,000 that the GI Bill will give you, and then they're saying, we will give you, if you have room, if you're one of the 100, we'll give you $4,700. And the VA says we'll match that. So instead of $4,700, you'll have $9,400, and hopefully that covers the rest of the tuition. If it doesn't, then that rest of that is on you. So if your school costs you, let's say $50,000, 24 will go away from the GI Bill, and let's say so you have 26 left. Well, let's say that the school you have is going to give you 10 grand. The VA give you another 10 grand. You still have 6 grand left. You got to figure that one out. So that's when you start looking at FAFSA, start looking at grants and scholarships. So when you start asking mom and dad for some help, so when you start working jobs on the weekend to get that money. But either way, you're required to get the rest of that money. So that's how the Yellow Ribbon program works. So this next part, I'm going to talk to you about how to actually get the benefit for the GI Bill. So you're going to go on va.gov, and this one right here is what you're going to see when you type it in. Go into the education block, and you'll see the very first option is check your post 9/11 GI Bill benefits. So you click on that, and then you'll get another screen. You want to look at where it says please sign in and check your GI Bill. So now they're doing single login. It's called a DS login or ID.me, where you can log into a lot of these different programs with the same login. So you'll need that when you go to TRS or whatever your separations brief is. They'll require that you have done this, or at the very least have created a DS login, because you'll need to use it for a lot of the other VA benefits. So then once you click on create account, go through all that jazz. Under this option, you'll see the am I eligible for this tool section. On that section, you're going to click on find out how to apply for post 9/11 GI Bill benefits. So when you click on that, you'll see these options. These options won't all be there. You have to answer one at a time, and then the other ones will pop up. But yes, you're applying for a new benefit. Unless you're not, then you'll check whatever option it is. You're a veteran or a serviceman claiming benefit based on your own service. If you're not a kid of somebody or a spouse of somebody, then yes, you're doing it from your own service because you served. You're not claiming the National Call of Service Education benefit. I haven't seen anybody that needed this. I'll make a separate video on it if that's necessary, but I don't see that it's necessary to explain that right now. So you hit no for that one. And then the fourth option is Vet Tech. I'm going to make a separate video about Vet Tech. That's specifically if you want to not do your GI Bill, but you want to go into like a course specifically for IT or technical vocational program. That's completely separate. I'll make another video about that one. But you hit no for that for now, unless that's true. And then you hit apply now. After you hit apply now, you'll see a bunch of options where it'll be like name, it'll ask you for your social and all that information. You're going to fill out all that. What you're going to need is you're going to need your institution you would like to go to, or institution at the very least you're interested in. So something they don't tell you is you don't need to actually have the school you're going to 100%. If you're still searching for schools, but you want to at least have your VA benefit paperwork with you, then just put a school you're interested in, and that's fine. The school I put down is not the school I eventually went to. You know, once the school pegs the VA for money, the VA obviously knows that's the school you're going to. They'll give the funding to them. After that, you're going to need your bank information because they're going to know where to send the money to for your book stipend or any of that other jazz. And that's really all you're going to need to do this. So obviously you're going to need your social and the rest of that, but if you don't know that, that's a bigger issue. But that's it for this part. I'm going to tell you about the benefits to using the GI Bill while you're in. So there's a few. I have 3 written down that I find to be good benefits. So first thing, no command input. But when you use a GI Bill, there is 0 command input. So it doesn't matter what field ops are coming up. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter if your commander doesn't really, always sign off on TA or whatever. Their opinion doesn't matter when it comes to this. You can use your GI Bill separate. You don't have to tell them to use GI Bill. You don't have to do any of that. Tuition assistance, military tuition assistance has a grade requirement. So say you're using tuition assistance and you have kids and you got late on a couple assignments or whatever, and you got a D. No one wants a D. No one signs up and asks for a D, but just say you got a D. So in this situation, TA, you'd have to pay that back. So if it was one class and the class was $700, you're paying that $700 back. But if you're using the GI Bill in the same situation, you don't have to pay it back because the GI Bill is pass or fail. D or F is the limit. So if you get a D, you get a GI Bill, and then you just pass that class, you got a D. You got to work to get your GPA up, but that's about it. Another thing about the GI Bill, if you are a go-getter and you have great time management, you can take all 12 credits. You can work full-time online school or even in-person school if your command will let you deal with that. But if you're doing online school and using GI Bill, then you can take all 12 credits. There's no problem with that. They don't limit. TA, you can only take 1 to a probationary period, and then you can take the second one after you pass that. But if you ever get a D or whatever, they can drop you back down to only taking 1 class, and that'll slow down your progress. But if you're using the GI Bill, you can take all 12 credits. Oh, one more benefit to the GI Bill. One more comment I have to make. A lot of people that I talk to that think they're taking something from themselves if they use the GI Bill while they're in, which makes no sense. Whether you're in or whether you're out, you're completing the schooling. There is a benefit. Just hear me out when I tell you this. I'm not saying it's ideal. I'm not saying it's for everybody. And I'm not trying to steal it away from you. Your MHA. But actually, we'll use that to transition over to the MHA. We're going to talk a little bit more about this. So I have a few buddies who got out and who have finished their degree program on the GI Bill. And one thing that they wanted me to say in this video was that you cannot live off of that. Not if you're going to be living on your own, trying to pay rent, pay utilities, feed yourself, maybe go out and do college stuff. You cannot survive over that. Don't think that you're just going to get 4 more years of military paid vacation and you're just going to go to school and party and drink all the time. You're not going to have the money to do that just using the government aid. The government aid is only to have you live and to educate you. All the rest is on you. So there are things called the VA work study programs. They pay you the minimum wage, and you need to find yourself a supervisor to sign off on your hours, but you can do around about 400 hours per semester. You can also use the Pell Grant to add on to that income, but you might need to get a job. So just consider that when you're listening to this video and you're hearing what I'm saying. You can also use FAFSA. FAFSA definitely will give you some book stipends and a little bit of pocket money if you do it right. That's all I have about the GI Bill. I hope that was informative for you. If you have any more questions, just hit me down in the comments and I'll answer your questions for you, or I can point you to the resources. Speaking of resources, all the links and stuff that I referenced are down below. So if you need anything, they're all down there. Catch you next time. Thank you for coming with me.